Hi everyone, it's Karen here and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a brand new tutorial where I'll be creating an altered upcycled assemblage paintbrush using Finnabair mediums and products and some recycled materials. Enjoy!
So the idea for this assemblage piece is that I really wanted to create something that looked kind of like a human body. Well, not exactly. I mean, what it looked like in my mind. It had to represent me. So kind of like a pretend body, I guess. And because it was representing me, then I wanted it to be a paintbrush, obviously, for the reasons that, like, I love art and as an artist. Then I had to I glued already a few pieces because, as I said, like recycled materials was important. So the light bulb, like all the ideas that I have that are always in my brain. So the light bulb, ding, like I thought it was a good idea. And then I collected these things, which is tin. This is the piece, one of the waxes that I finished, and I basically am using this for my head. And I also got this spinner, and I wanted to kind of make it represent the fact that I have ideas spinning in my head. It's supposed to be moving, but somehow I got stuck. Let me just, oh, there we go. I released it. So having ideas spinning in my head isn't like, my head is always spinning with ideas and thoughts. So I thought that would be cute. So I got a fidget spinner for that. Then what I'm thinking is I'm not going to do this yet, but I just want to show you. I took a picture of myself and I'm going to put that inside. So that means it really is representing me. And I'm going to basically cover it with a clock. I mean, time is important for me. And, I just thought, I mean, it's perfect like to frame my photo like this. But I'm not going to do that right now because I want to be able to add mediums to this and I don't want the photo to ruin. That will be one of the last things that I add. For the body, I was thinking of something that could go along here, and my idea was to get like a metal tin. I got this metal tin that is from the fidget spinner. I think there was a smaller fidget spinner that was in here. I kind of went around my house and I looked for things that I could use. And what I did is this opens up and I glued inside these gears that I made myself in a heart. Now, I will show you soon how I made these gears. They're made out of resin, and this is what basically the body is going to look like. And then what I thought is with the same resin, I created these wings. And so I really wanted to add wings because, like the idea of it that, all my ideas are flying in the air, like all my, I don't know. There's so many representations of wings. One of the main things is that the theme that I'm doing for this assemblage, it has to do with wings because it's being done for the Finnabair ambassador team. So everybody was supposed to get inspired by wings somehow. So this is my inspiration. So what I like about it is that I'm going to close this, and this is kind of looks like the heart is inside, and then the gears are kind of moving the body around. So I mean, this is my assemblage. It doesn't look great yet, but I think once I paint everything, I kind of get everything done, you will really be able to see the difference of how this looks, and it will make a difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these pieces on now with some heavy gel, and then I am going to show you how I created these pieces, the resin ones, because I actually did these in a separate segment. So I wanted to make sure that I show you how to do these because they need sometimes to dry. So I did this in advance. So I filmed this in advance. So it doesn't really make sense when I'm actually showing it later, but just to show you how to make these. Okay. So if the video doesn't make sense, it's because it's going back and forth. So there's the body. And what I want to do is I was trying to figure out if I should glue the wings behind the brush or just up here. But then I won't be able to move that stuff. So I'm thinking that maybe they should go behind the brush. So having said that, maybe I should have not put this yet. Maybe I'll just spin the brush around and kind of glue them here. So I'm thinking that they should just go here like that. Okay, yes, so let's glue those. The problem with assemblage pieces, not the problem, it's not really a problem, but what happens is that you need, when they're awkwardly shaped, it's really hard to put things where you want them to be. So if they're awkwardly shaped, for them to, they have to dry a certain way. You want to make sure that they're not moving and they're not falling off. So that's what happens with awkwardly shaped assemblage pieces. But if you can manage to do it, they turn out really, really cool. So there we go. There we go. So that's that, and I'm going to turn it carefully. To create my wings, I am going to be using Amazing Casting resin, and I love this one because it's so quick and easy to create the molds. So what I need is 2 cups, and I'm going to pour a little bit of each liquid into it. So you go 1-to-1 ratio. So I'm going to put some of this, and it keeps it, if you keep it separately, you're fine because it doesn't mix with, as long as it doesn't mix with each other, you're fine. And I just eyeball it. It's not necessary to like measure it exactly. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to mix one inside the other. Now if you don't want to, if you want to reuse the cups to make more, then you can just use a 3rd cup for it. But since I don't need to do that, all I'm going to do is just pour it in. So I also need a stir stick. So now that I pour this inside the other, all I have to do is mix quickly and pour into my mold. So as soon as it's clear color, I can just start pouring. So I'm going to make first the wings, which is what I really want for my project. And this one as well. And then I'm going to make the gears. I could maybe use them as well, potentially. This one as well. And it's, if you have a lot of liquid, it's good to work fast with it, but if not, you don't have to. It's not a problem. So I make extras for, if I have extra liquid, I can just make extra for other projects. This works out well as well. And I'm basically enough basically for the whole mold. There we go. And now I have these. They're going to dry up, and when they dry, they become white and they're easy to take out. So they become pure white, and you'll see in a few minutes how it becomes white, and I can use them, and they're hard enough that I can use them in my projects. So using a small tin box, this is a tin can from, I think, a fidget spinner, and what I'm doing is I'm going to glue some of the molds that I created using some heavy gel. So basically I'm putting them down, and I'm basically creating the body, like inside of the assembled body. I really wanted to put a heart in the middle of it, and then we can put the other gears as if, you know, almost like mechanical, like the body is working, which is important. The body to work well. The nice thing is that it has a lid, so it will look like that. So you will just see kind of the gears underneath. So that will be the inside of my body. Okay, so finally everything is glued. It took a few days for me to get back to this project. I've actually been doing other things, but I just want to put this aside because I want to make sure that this see-through window doesn't get affected, and I want to basically paint everything with heavy black gesso. And I know this is not a new technique. I more want to just show you my project and my assemblage part of it. It's not so much the technique today, just because it's fun to create things that are like out of the ordinary. And I think this one is basically out of the ordinary for me. So as you can see, the head can spin. I really didn't want the whole thing to spin because I don't know, but I guess it could be. And there's the body and the wings and everything is glued. Now I'm not going to be covering all of the light bulb because I really want that to show as well. And I don't really think you need to basically see how I paint everything, but all I'm going to do is basically paint everything in black and basically just go inside, paint inside, paint on the outside. And this is not something that you need to see. That's what I meant. So I'm going to do this off screen just to finish it up. And I'm going to do the sides as well. I mean the back as well, just a little bit. But I'm planning on hanging this on my wall because I have a collection of art brushes. And you can see all of them in a video that I have on my YouTube channel. So I have a collection of basically altered brushes, including some of the ones I've made. But this one is very special because it basically represents me. So as you can see, I'm covering this as well. I'm going to be covering carefully. I'm going to be covering this area as well. So that will be part of it as well. So that's all I'm going to do. So, and you're going to basically just see the end product because what I want to do is add stuff on top afterwards. Just want to point out something for those of you who maybe haven't watched many of my videos with the gesso, is black gesso or any type of gesso, what it helps for is to make all the surfaces even, to prime all the surfaces so they're even, so when I add color on top they all stay the same. So as you can see here, I have many different types of surfaces such as resin, metal, plastic, glass, wood. So all of them resist differently to paint. But when I add gesso, which gesso can go basically on any type of surface, it can cover any type of surface, what it does is that it primes everything and gives it a base coat. So when I'm adding the color afterwards, whether it is paint, spray, or wax, or anything that I want on top, everything will have the same background surface. And I won't have a problem of it kind of going off the, not attaching itself to, or not allowing it itself to stick to the background. That way I have it all the same. So just a little hint, a little tip that some of you may know already, but if you don't, then this is a really good tip for you to have. This is whether you use black gesso or white gesso. It doesn't really matter. And I do like using the heavy gesso, and this is the Prima Finnabair heavy gesso just because it gives a really good coverage and I don't have to go twice over things, which is great as well. So I'm just going to continue here and until I'm done. Okay, so I finished painting it inside. I mean, some little spots are there, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to add paint on top of it. This is metallic acrylic paint. It's the Prima Finnabair Metallique colors. These are the latest ones in the blue tones. A few of them came out this past summer, but since I haven't been creating anything, I haven't used them, so I'm really excited to use them. I'm sure you've probably seen them online for those of you who follow Finnabair, but I just really wanted to use this. So there is the Jade stone, there is the blue, teal blue, the Stormy ocean, and the sky blue. I think sky blue might not be as new, but the other three are, and I'm really excited to combine them all. And I just want to kind of play around with these. Just want to be careful not to get this. Now this one over here is an interference one. That means that it actually changes colors depending on what you add it on. But look at this beauty. This is a beautiful color. It's called Jade, but it looks kind of like an aqua color. It's beautiful. And I'm going to put the light bulb out because I'm not going to be painting the light bulb, but I just want to show you this. Now I want to try this. I just want to kind of play around with the colors and see. Look how beautiful this one is. This one has like tinges of purple as well in it. So there is the really beautiful teal blue, and then there is a little bit of a purple tinge to it. It's stunning. Let's try the Stormy Sky. I just kind of want to play to see which ones will fit the best. This one is a little bit darker, as you can see. But I wonder if it would look beautiful with this sky blue. Wow, that's nice. Okay, so what if we put the wings in sky blue? So let's paint these in sky blue. And then with maybe highlights of this other color. Let's see which one looks good with it. I love, these are my favorite colors, although lately I've been creating a lot with the oranges and the pinks and yellows, but I do love these as well. And I usually tend to go towards these type of colors. So now I'm thinking, what if we added these? Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, I think I really love this one, and I want to add it in certain areas. So I'm going to list all the products I'm using below, and just continue painting with the blues. And I'm going to combine the different colors. So sometimes I go back and forth between the colors until I'm happy with the way they look, with the result. Oh, it's looking really nice. You can also use other colors as well, and also if you want you can use waxes. The only reason I didn't go for the waxes today, which I usually go for, is because I had these new colors that I really wanted to try. So I knew that if I didn't actually grab them, I would never use them because they've been sitting there for a while, and since I haven't been able to create, that's what happened, right? So I have to remember that this goes on top, so this doesn't matter here. Let's paint, let's just put this on top for a second. I'm going to paint, actually I'm going to paint the inside, and then I'm going to put the lid on just for a second so I can see how it looks when the lid is on. Because when you start adding paint onto things, it's hard to close the lid afterwards. What I like about these is that how beautifully they mix together, so you can really get a good mixture of everything, which is nice. Okay, I'm going to put the lid, that way I can paint it. Let's see what color. I think I'm going to go with this one, and maybe a mixture of this. I'm just trying to be careful not to get anything dirty, because I want the window to be open so you can see inside the heart, inside towards the heart, if that makes sense at all. And basically I'm just going to open this so it dries up separately, even though I already painted it, just because I want to add some highlights to it as well. I took two other colors that I wanted to use as highlights. One is called Chest of Gold, which is this new beautiful sparks color, and this other one which is called Dragonfly, which looks like a greenish color. And I just wanted to add some highlights with it, and I thought they would be the perfect ones for that. So they both kind of look golden, which I love adding gold colors to things that are like darker. So this looks really nice on like this. So a little bit of highlights there for the wings, and then I'm thinking, and some a little bit for the head, underneath the head, and maybe some highlights, but a few of them on the brush, but not everywhere. So just to kind of highlight the kind of almost like hair highlights, which is what I actually have on in my hair. So that looks good. I like that. And then I wanted this color to highlight here inside, like for the heart. And I'm just kind of lightly brushing it on top because I want to make sure I just get those highlights. For the heart, I want the heart to be a bit darker, really shine. So I'm just adding some more of this gold. I really like it. I didn't add a lot of embellishments to this, so it's just pretty simple. I'm just trying to figure out about this light bulb. Oh, and I have to remember, yeah, you see, I like it like that. I wanted to kind of highlight the inside more than the outside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit more, even a third coat of this. I really want the heart to stand out more. And just add a little bit more on the edges here. See, when I close this, you really see the inside of the body part. Okay, I'm gonna dry this up because I want to add the picture and everything else that needs to decorate it, and then I'm gonna finish it up. So actually what I decided to do, and I started doing this, is just add a light coat of this green dragonfly color to the light bulb. I think it kind of makes it look a little bit more realistic. So it's a very thin, almost translucent coat. It doesn't have the black underneath it, so it makes it look a little bit more realistic. So you can kind of see the inside, but it's more translucent. Yeah, I think it looks a little bit better that way. And I'm going to dry it up. So I'm just going to glue the photo in the center here with a little bit of gel. I'm just adding it with my finger. And I also want to glue this Art is the Answer. It's a little plaque. I think it will go it goes perfectly with the theme, because for me art is always the answer. And it looks good with the colors as well, so I'm happy to put that on. Let's put my face there. And I want to glue this on top as well, but I need to add some color to it because it doesn't make sense that it's this color. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some wax. I'm grabbing a couple colors like the Aged Brass and also the Firebird. I'm not sure which one I will finally use, but I think I just want to use something that will match the rest. Yeah, this will be good. So yeah, that's good. So there we go. Now it matches everything else. And I can also add a little bit to this in the border, as a border. And then let me glue this as well. This will take a little bit longer to dry because it's such a little thin edge. Let me find the right time. Might as well put the clock the right way. So there is my face in the middle of Art is the Answer. So I ended up gluing a few of these mechanical hardware from Finnabair in some areas over here. That was my last little touch. I just wanted to add a little bit of just something extra so it doesn't look so empty because I didn't add a lot of texture. So I used a lot of, as I said, recycled materials, but I did use a few of the mechanicals just to give it a few more embellishments. You can use even metals that you found somewhere. It doesn't have to be like from Finnabair, but I mean, obviously she has like the most beautiful ones, so that works as well. So you can combine things that you have that are recycled with things that you bought. And that's the nice thing because the project becomes a little bit cheaper to make. So I hope you enjoyed my altered assemblage brush. And thanks so much for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it every single time. So thank you so much and have an amazing day. Bye.